Hello everyone, this video is about narcissists and gaslighting. The term gaslighting comes from a 1938 play called Gaslight. In 1944, this was released as a film. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation to put seeds of doubt into other individuals' minds in the aim to make those around them question reality, doubt their memories, and question their own sanity. It is a hideous form of manipulation and it has extremely traumatic effects on your mental health and your physical health. Unfortunately, by the way a narcissist person draws you in with the golden period, making you so incredibly happy and treating you the best you've ever been treated, and then slowly and carefully taking you down with lots of different manipulation methods. It's extremely hard to spot whilst it's happening to you. People are extremely susceptible to it. They destroy your emotional well-being, your mental health and your physical health with it. They take control of your mind and they take control of your life. So if you've ever felt like you're no longer feeling like the person you used to be, you've been more anxious and less confident than you used to be, often wondering if you are being too sensitive or feeling like everything you do is wrong, always thinking it's your fault when things do go wrong, always apologising, having a sense that something's wrong but being unable to identify what it is, often questioning whether your response to your partner is appropriate. For example, wondering if you were unreasonable or not loving enough, making excuses for your partner's behaviour, avoiding giving information to friends and family to avoid confrontation about your partner, feeling isolated from friends and family, finding it incredibly hard to make decisions, feeling hopeless and taking little or no pleasure in activities that you used to do, then you're more than likely being gaslighted. My ex-narcissist drove me to utter despair and almost insanity to try and take the house away from me. At the time, I didn't see it for what it was, but luckily I did listen to my instincts. A lot of the time I didn't, and most of us don't until it's too late. Through lots of different manipulation, from when things of my children's went missing from the house, which the narcissist blamed their older child, triangulating and manipulating the child too, so they could drive a wedge and the child could no longer inform me of the things that they had been about the narcissist that the narcissist did not want me to know. Ruining special occasions and holidays. There is a video on here about this. Promising nice days out and then not delivering them. One was actually 2 weeks after our first child was born, when they went out to a place they'd promised to take me to and the new baby on that day, and left me at home, questioning myself of, well, I'm sure you promised and I'm sure we were going together, but all I got when I asked the narcissist was, I never said that. I told you I was going on the bike. They would forget to give the baby the one bottle that they had at night. My children were breastfed, but they had one bottle at night time because they slept longer. So then they'd wake me up and ask if they needed to give the bottle or tell me that they needed breastfeeding. They'd tell me to go to bed early and rest, so it looked like they cared. And then they would wake me up at least 1 to 3 times a night for random things and leave me to take care of all the baby's needs. They would pity play on how the ex wanted more money, so they couldn't afford to buy stuff for the child or pay towards the bills, always promising to pay next week and failing to deliver. So I had to go back to work the day after the child was born to pay those bills, even though they'd promised we'd make it so that I could have a few months off. Instead, I had to take on extra work to cover the extra bills. not letting me know they were bringing the eldest, so I had to start tea all over again to feed them because obviously I didn't have enough jobs to do, not lifting a finger to help out, and so many more. They then slowly drilled it into my head that it wasn't them and that I just had postnatal depression. Reading all the signs and symptoms at first, I thought I was just exhausted, which I was from all the torture that the narcissist was doing to gain power over me. I still, however, had doubt to exactly what was wrong with me. I couldn't put my finger on. I didn't believe I had postnatal depression, but I knew I wasn't right. When the narcissist did get me to the doctors prescribed antidepressants. But I was so out of it at that point, I actually sat listening like I wasn't in my own body. I listened to all the advice that the doctor gave me and gave my partner about how best to help that empty shell of my former self. And when we arrived home, did the narcissist do any of these things? No, not a one. They would just tell me to go and rest and then bring the baby up or do something so that I had extra work on or come and wake me up for the smallest of reasons. The narcissist took no notice of the doctor's recommendations. Instead, they asked me to sign the house and the bills into their name only, to take the pressure off me, those bills that the narcissist couldn't afford to pay. Apparently, this would help me recover. And they also told everyone and everyone that I knew, that I didn't want to know, how depressed I was. The house that I'd actually gotten for my 3 older boys, my instincts were screaming at me not to sign it over, to throw away those tablets and to get better, which I did slowly. Now, to be honest, if the narcissist have asked to sign it into joint names, I'd have probably done that. It was the fact that they wanted it in a sole name that kind of made me think something's not quite right. If they'd have started doing more around the house, I'd have probably thought, oh, they are trying to help. I do not regret that time or even dislike the narcissist for it, as it taught me no matter how low you feel, you can always climb back up. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going. It is incredibly hard, but it is possible. The narcissist wanted all the attention from others for putting up with me, trying to cut everybody away from me when I didn't sign the house over. They just kept turning it around onto me with there's no helping some people. And of course, I got a couple of weeks silent treatment, more resentment for spending time with those that were trying to help me and getting me to doubt those close to me so I didn't turn to them, telling me they talk about you behind your back. They think that you're crazy. I've spoken to them and they believe you have postnatal depression and that you need to let me help you and that you need to sign the house over to me and so many more. At one point, he actually left for a few days and I had no method of getting in touch with him as they'd not answer any of their calls or messages. When they returned, they went for the pity play of your behaviour is ruining the relationship and you need to let me take over the house and the bills so that I can help you. Again, when I said no, I just got more silent treatment. They then went off chasing their best friend's wife. Gaslighting is about untruths or extending facts into something they're not, making up stories of events that didn't happen, pushing people, telling people something did happen that never actually did, taking power away from those by confusing them, destroying people's character to the person themselves and to those around them. Outright lies, said so sincerely, you question yourself. You know something happened, yet the narcissist with great conviction denies it ever happened. They will say things to you like, I never said that, or that didn't happen, or you dreamt that. You're losing your mind. They will guilt trip you into believing their reality. They will argue and blame you for anything and everything that's going wrong. If you feel like you're losing your mind over events, you are being gaslighted. All done so that you lose your sense of reality, you lose your own values, and you give in to the narcissist's demands. Those are done so that you end up full of shame, full of self-doubt, so you daren't speak up to the narcissist or those close to you for a reality check. You actually go to the narcissist for a reality check. A lot in recovery is letting go of that shame and also letting go of your ego and your pride. Asking others for a reality check, even if you're worried what they may think. I did have a lot of inner shame and ego to release to recover back to my happy self, because the narcissist makes you believe that you've caused all the problems and makes you believe that people will turn away from you. You cannot get the truth and the correct answers from a narcissist. Their version of reality will always be different from those around you. They can never be accountable and they never will accept any form of responsibility. Only false apologies if they believe they've got something to gain. They enjoy you calling them out, as this gives them more power and control over you and your emotions. They will twist and turn more on you with their word salad to send you into further depths of despair. If you questioned your part, doubted yourself, thought you were to blame, even thought that you're a narcissist, you are not a narcissist. Your reactions are normal human behaviour due to being so manipulated by the narcissist. You need to work on releasing any guilt that you have, releasing those traumas and developing a new positive mindset and a new inner self full of self-worth. When you work on your inner self, listen to your instincts, even if you're not sure what they're telling you, you will become so much happier and more confident in your own abilities and trust within yourself. Only you can create your boundaries and your values. Then others can respect them as yours or no longer be a part of your life. People around you don't have to understand them or agree with them. They just have to respect them as your own and not walk all over them. You need your own values and boundaries, and your actions need to match your words. Those around your actions that love you and believe in you and trust you will not try and stomp all over you. People with lots of false promises that continue to let you down, you don't need those kinds of people in your life. There is plenty of good people in the world to surround yourself with. Those who abandon you in time of need, put you down, never accept any blame, no matter how nice they can be at times, are abusive, and you need to get out and stay out. If you are out, you need to remember you cannot help them, you cannot fix them. So the next time they come for the hoover with the pity plays and false apologies, do not go back. If you're still with the narcissist, you've got to stop turning to them for help. You will only make yourself worse. You need to start turning to yourself and turning to other people that can help you. It is incredibly hard breaking free, but it's also the best thing you'll ever do and so worth it for your mental and physical health and a much more stable and happier life. Please do remember, these videos on this channel are just for advice. We are all individuals and we are all unique, so just find the methods that help and work for you to recover. People before you have recovered, and you can do it too. There's a playlist all about recovery. There's a playlist all about narcissist manipulation, all about narcissists are and what they do to you. So please have a listen, find what works for you. Please do subscribe and please share to get the information and the help to those that are in need. We need to make narcissistic personality disorder known to the younger generation as well, so they don't fall into this trap. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.